we should understand
Sir,
the
today,
yes,
sir,
yes
today mediation.
हेलो हाँ जी बोलिए
Sir, sir, you are now teaching us today mediation today.
हाँ हाँ मीडिएशन पढ़ा रहे हैं बिल्कुल
Yes, sir.
हाँ
Yes, sir.
मीडिएशन देखिए मीडिएशन की है ना स्लाइड ये देखिए मीडिएशन की है देख पा रहे हैं अमित जी आप स्लाइड
जी सर, जी सर,
हाँ हाँ
जी
हाँ
सर.
मीडिएशन की मीडिएशन ठीक ठीक थैंक यू so yesterday we discussed moderation today we are taking the new topic that is mediation and after this we will cover exploratory factor analysis okay in the first session we will cover mediation and after that exploratory factor analysis okay now there are two terms one is moderation and second is mediation so before I start this, we should understand the difference between the two. Means what is the difference between mediation and moderation? Okay, so basically moderation affect the relationship between dependent and independent variables. It means कि when we use the mediator term, so mediator affects the relationship between the two variable. How? So I'm just explaining it. Okay, this. Okay. So in the moderation and mediation, so the moderation, this is moderation. Okay, and this is mediation. So diagram, sorry, mediation. Okay, this is mediation. So in a moderation, there is variable moderator and y independent variable, another dependent variable that is y, dv, iv, and moderator. So basically, this moderator influence the relationship between the x and y. It means it change the strength. If the strength uh, between the two variable means regression coefficient strength -1 to +1. Okay, if it is high like 0.932, so with the presence of this moderator variable it reduce this strength between the two variables and it can change the direction of the two variables. If it is positive sign, then after introducing the moderation, then it may become the negative sign. Now, why the mediation? Basically, mediation it's a independent variable, and with the presence of this mediation, for example, without mediation, the relationship between the two significant. Okay, and the we can see this way the relationship between the two variable dv and iv. Okay, the relationship between the two variable that is significant relationship between the two. Now with the presence of moderate mediator variable this, so with the presence of this mediator variable, the relationship become the insignificant. This it is the relationship between the dependent and independent variable not significant. Okay, but before uh, including the mediator variable it is significant. So sometimes what happen when we introduce the mediator variable and this the relationship between the x and y is still significant, then this type of uh, mediation known as partial partial mediation. Partial mediation. Okay. And second is full mediation. Full mediation means with the presence of mediator variable, the relationship between the IV and DV, it is not significant.
So not able to hear you.
But full mediation means after introducing the mediator variable, if relationship is still significant, it means a partial mediation.
Sir,
And when it becomes the not significant, hello, yes,
Sir, your voice
Sir, please explain me.
wasn't audible. Your voice was breaking. Could you please repeat partial and full mediation?
please, एक minute, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
in between you, we are
ठीक, एक मिनट मैं भी देखता हूँ। मैं भी एक बार दूसरे नेट से चला के देखता हूँ। क्या मुझे आप यस, अच्छा, ओके, थैंक यू। ठीक है, मुझे इन्फॉर्म कर दीजिएगा अगर मान लीजिए इन केस कहीं आप सुन ना पाए। ओके, नाउ आई थिंक एवरीवन कैन सी। अर्लियर माय वॉइस नॉट ऑडिबल, तो अब तो मेरे ख्याल में क्लियर है। काजल जी ने भी लिख दिया है और कावरी जी ने भी लिख दिया है। मीडिएशन अगेन, ओके, ठीक है, मैं दोबारा से इसको डिफरेंस बता देता हूँ। ओके, थैंक यू। So I was discussing about the mediation and moderation. I am repeating again, there is no issue. So mediation, basically there may be three types of mediation. Three types means कि when there is no, the first type is full mediation. Full mediation means this is my mediator variable and X, that is independent variable, and Y dependent variable. This is DV, this is IV, and this is the mediator variable. Okay, so before applying the full mediation, we check the relationship between the X and Y, check the relationship between X and M, check relationship between M and Y. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So it means we check according to Baroni, we check the relationship, simple relationship between X and Y. Okay, there are 4 steps in performing the mediation. So it should be significant. Second case, the X and M. M means this one, or I can write like this way. देखिए, what does it mean significant? Significant means we perform the Y simple regression analysis, Y equal to B0 plus B1 X, and P value should be greater than less than 0.05. Second case, we are taking X and M. Now the M acting as a DV. Okay, so Y, instead of writing Y, I am writing here M B0 plus B1 X. So this relationship also significant. Second condition is this. Third condition, the relationship between M and Y. So M and Y. Y means dependent variable, M means moderator. So moderator here X. So Y equal to B0 plus B1X. So plus B1X, sorry, B1M. Okay. So this should be the significant, means P value should be significant. And fourth condition, when we take all the variables like Y equal to B0 plus B1X, means I am taking this and then I am adding this one plus B2M and plus this into this one. The third relationship, the B2, this relationship and this and M into ये वाला the relationship है. So it should be significant. So P value should be significant. P value should be significant. If it is significant, this means the relationship. I am showing you the exact equation. How can we say this? This type equation, step 4, this is the step 4 means the third, I think you can B0. Okay, so B1 plus this. So this is the equation I will show through PPT also. So this should be yes sir.
सर इसमें B2M के बाद B3Y नहीं लेंगे?
नहीं वो नहीं लेंगे. इसमें जो हम लेंगे ना वो ये एरर टर्म. ठीक है, केवल दो वेरिएबल ले रहे हैं. एक तो ये एक्स.
अरे कौशल हिंदी में नहीं हो सकता, इंग्लिश करके
हैं? देखिए कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स हिंदी में भी बता सकते हैं, लेकिन कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो शायद
दोनों समझ जाएंगे. मिक्स करके चलेगा और अच्छा में समझ में दोनों लोग को समझ में अच्छा से आ जाएगा.
अच्छा,
जो इंग्लिश में लैंग्वेज बनता है इंग्लिश में बोला जाए, जो उसमें थोड़ा सा टैली करके अच्छा लगेगा ना.
चलिए ठीक है,
समझ में आ जाएगा.
नहीं हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. देखिए कई बार मैं तो बल्कि कंफर्टेबल
आप कुछ सजेशन ले लीजिए कि दोनों मिक्स चलेगा. अच्छी बात है.
ठीक है डॉक्टर साहब. देखिए मैं तो खुद कंफर्टेबल जो है हिंदी में रहता हूँ, लेकिन कुछ एक्चुअली क्या ना, कुछ बार हमारे वर्कशॉप में जो है जैसे साउथ की भी पार्टिसिपेंट जुड़ जाते हैं, तो उनको बड़ी समस्या होती है बेचारों को. तो इसलिए मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश ही बोल लूं. खैर प्लीज प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ. सभी लोग म्यूट कर लीजिए. मैं दोबारा से इसको बता देता हूँ एक बार और. तो देखिए इसमें द फर्स्ट कंडीशन इन फुल मीडिएशन द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द टू वेरिएबल एक्स एंड वाई, इन दोनों को जब ले रहे हैं सिंपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस, दिस रिलेशनशिप शुड बी सिग्निफिकेंट. ओके, सेकंड केस में दिस और दिस, इसको और इसको हमने लिया, देन रिलेशनशिप शुड बी सिग्निफिकेंट, पी वैल्यू. थर्ड केस में दिस एंड दिस, एम एंड वाई, तो ये भी हमारा हो गया सिग्निफिकेंट. थर्ड में क्या है कि पी वैल्यू सिग्निफिकेंट होनी चाहिए इसकी, एम वाले की, एंड इनसिग्निफिकेंट पी वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 0.05, मीन्स इसकी प्रेजेंस में ये वाला वेरिएबल इनसिग्निफिकेंट आ जाए, नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट, तब तो हम कहते हैं इट इज फुल मीडिएशन. पूरा मीडिएशन हमारा ये जो है काम कर रहा है. सेकंड हमारा क्या हो सकता है, सेकंड टाइप की पार्शियल मीडिएशन. पार्शियल मीडिएशन में क्या होगा, द कंडीशन सेम होंगी हमारी जैसे पार्शियल मीडिएशन में, कि तीनों जो वेरिएबल्स हैं ये इन दिस वेरिएबल, सेकंड वेरिएबल और थर्ड, तीनों के साथ रिलेशनशिप शुड बी सिग्निफिकेंट. पी वैल्यू शुड बी लेस, पी वैल्यू शुड बी लेस, पी वैल्यू शुड बी लेस. लेकिन जो लास्ट में जो हम कंडीशन देख रहे हैं, पार्शियल मीडिएशन, ये सेकंड कंडीशन मैं बता रहा हूं. पार्शियल मीडिएशन ये रिलेशनशिप स्टिल सिग्निफिकेंट। ये जो है हमारा पार्शियल में, ये देखिएगा पार्शियल मीडिएशन। पार्शियल मीडिएशन का मतलब है कि ये m mediator, x IV and y dV. Okay, now this in the partial mediation, this relationship after mediation, it is still significant. So there are 4 steps. In one step, step 1, when we take x and y, दोनों को हमने लिया x and y, तब ये p value should be less than 0. When we are taking x and m, ये x and m, then the p value again it is significant. ठीक है? And third, the m and y means m acting as a independent variable and y that is dependent variable, this is significant. And the fourth step, when we take both this variable and this variable, like we can show it like this: b0 plus b1x plus b2m. okay, so यहाँ जो है, अगर फिर भी ये वाला अगर सिग्निफिकेंट है स्टिल, और ये तो सिग्निफिकेंट होगा ही, तो ये जो होगा हमारा पार्शियल मीडिएशन होगा। फुल मीडिएशन में क्या है, ये बिल्कुल इनइफेक्टिव हो जाता है, ये वाला जो रिलेशनशिप है। ठीक, तो ये डिफरेंस है। और तीसरा एक कंडीशन क्या होता है, नो मीडिएशन, कि हमने मीडिएशन अप्लाई किया बट मीडिएशन का इंपैक्ट नहीं आ रहा। उसका रीजन क्या होता है कि इनमें से आइदर दिस वन बिकम दी नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट। कोई सा भी अगर एक रिलेशनशिप सिग्निफिकेंट आ जाता है तो हम कहेंगे कि ये इसमें मीडिएशन का इंपैक्ट नहीं हो रहा। एक तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट हमें समझना है इसका। और इसके बाद जो है, जो एक कॉन्सेप्ट है वो है द मीडिएशन डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट। डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट, व्हाट डज इट मीन? सो हियर यू कैन सी द टोटल इफेक्ट। When we do not include mediation, we are just simply checking the relationship between the y dependent variable and x. Then this C, it is basically regression coefficient, path coefficient. It is known as total effect. Total effect. Okay. ये आगे हमारा, इसे हम क्या कहते हैं, total effect. But when we include the mediation, like I am including here this way and then checking the relationship this. So this is my indirect effect and this is my direct effect. So what would be the total effect? Total effect means direct effect plus indirect effect through x, m and m, y. ठीक है? So दो तरीके के इफेक्ट देख रहे हैं, वन इज डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट एंड सेकंड इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट। तो जो ये डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट, व्हेन वी इंक्लूड द मीडिएशन, जब हमने मीडिएशन को इंक्लूड कर लिया इसमें, तो हमारे पास जो रिलेशनशिप होगी एक्स और वाई की, इसको हमने क्या कहा, डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट। ये देखिएगा, दिस इज डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट, सो दिस इज डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट। इसको हमने डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट को किससे किया, C dash, and this is indirect. Indirect effect means this is the root, the x variable influencing y through this root. इस root के through it is influencing the y. So एक one is directly the x influencing the variable y, second is via m influencing the y. Okay, and now it's a indirect means multiplication of this coefficient and this coefficient. So a b, this is known as indirect effect, and x y c dash, it is known as direct effect. So one is direct effect and another is indirect effect, this way. So इसमें हम क्या कर सकते हैं, देखिए, तो ये हो गया हमारा डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट। इसके बाद कुछ एज्यूम्पशंस हैं। एज्यूम्पशंस, बिकॉज इट इज मीडिएशन, इट इज नथिंग बट ए multiple regression analysis. So we should check the assumptions of the multiple regression analysis कि data should be normality होनी चाहिए, and second, independence of the error term Durbin-Watson should be between 1.5 to 2.5, इसके बीच में होना चाहिए. फिर लीनियरिटी का ये हम कल डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, होमोजेनिटी, वेरिएंस, ठीक है, और मल्टी कोलिनिटी इश्यूज. तो ये भी हमें चेक करने चाहिए जब व्हेन वी परफॉर्म दी दिस क्या कहते हैं मीडिएशन. ओके, नाउ बैरन एंड केनी गिवन 4 स्टेप्स टू कंडक्ट द मीडिएशन. कि जब भी हम अपने डेटा में मीडिएशन एनालिसिस करते हैं तो हमें 4 स्टेप्स को फॉलो करना है. पहला स्टेप क्या है? फर्स्ट स्टेप, दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप, show that the causal variable is correlated with outcome variable. What does it mean? It means this is the causal relationship. In the first step, देखिए 4 steps होंगे जब हम कंडक्ट करते हैं इसको. 4 steps का मतलब है कि जैसे ये हमारा एक मीडिएशन है, दिस इज मीडिएशन एंड एक्स इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल और this is डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. ठीक है, तो अब पहला स्टेप क्या है? दिस वन. 4 स्टेप बताए ना. फर्स्ट स्टेप में वी विल फाइंड द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन y एंड x. देखिए y0 दिस इज dv एंड x इट इज iv एंड p वैल्यू शुड बी, रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द टू शुड बी लेस देन 0.05. तो ये सिग्निफिकेंट होना चाहिए. सेकेंड स्टेप में ये दोनों सिग्निफिकेंट होना चाहिए रिलेशनशिप, उसको भी हम चेक कर लेते हैं. तो उसको देखिएगा, दिस इज इन द स्टेप सेकंड, यूज m एज द क्राइटेरियन वेरिएबल एंड x एज द प्रिडिक्टर. ये देखिए यहाँ पे जो ये बताया था मीडिएशन एंड दिस इज iv इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल एंड दिस इज डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. सो हियर इन दोनों के बीच में हम लोग रिलेशनशिप फाइंड कर रहे हैं. सिंपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस, इट इज एक्टिंग एज ए डीवी. सो यहाँ पर हमारा ये मीडिएटर डीवी आ गया एंड दिस इज एक्स. सो रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द टू शुड बी सिग्निफिकेंट. सो सिग्निफिकेंट कैसे पता चलता है कि पी वैल्यू लेस देन 0.05 से होनी चाहिए. तो ये हमारा क्या हो गया? सेकेंड स्टेज. अब थर्ड स्टेज कौन सा है? दिस इनटू दिस. इन दोनों के बीच में भी हम लोग रिलेशनशिप फाइंड कर लेते हैं. दिस इज द रिलेशनशिप. तो इसमें देखिएगा कि ये जो है हमारा जैसे मॉडरेटर और ये आपका x और ये y. नाउ वी आर चेकिंग द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन दिस एंड दिस. सो ये हमारा y dv हो गया और m जो है x की जगह यहाँ पे ये हो गया. एंड द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द टू शुड बी अगेन ये हमारी 0.05 से कम होनी चाहिए, सिग्निफिकेंट. ये तो 3 स्टेप हो गए. फर्स्ट पहले तीनों स्टेप्स में से अगर एक भी नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट आया तो हमारा नो मीडिएशन नहीं होगा. तो पहली कंडीशन तो ये कि तीनों स्टेप्स में ये जो है हमारा सिग्निफिकेंट आनी चाहिए रिलेशनशिप. फोर्थ स्टेप में क्या करते हैं हम लोग? दोनों वेरिएबल्स को इंक्लूड कर लेते हैं. अभी तक तो हमने कि जो है एक इक्वेशन को एक साथ लिया, जैसे ये है हमारा y x और ये m. तो अब अभी तक तो हमने इसके साथ देखा एक के साथ. अब हम दोनों को इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं कि x भी और ये m भी दोनों. तो ये मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस हो गया, क्योंकि मीडिएटर भी एक तरह से हमारा इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल ही होते हैं. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हमने क्या लिया? दिस वेरिएबल इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल एंड अनदर इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल दैट इज दिस. अब यहाँ पे बात समझने की है, सबसे बड़ी चीज कि अगर ये जो है, अगर हम ये देखें कि इफ द रिलेशनशिप, अब फोर्थ स्टेप की आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट फोर्थ स्टेप, तो दिस शुड बी सिग्निफिकेंट. इट मींस पी वैल्यू लेस देन 0.05. अब ये जो है हमारा ये x क्या है? इस तरह से हम इसको देख सकते हैं. ये आपका y आ गया, ये हमारा x आ गया, दिस इज दिस वन एंड दिस वन. ठीक है, तो ये जो है रिलेशनशिप ये है x एंड y, है ना. ये देखिए ये रिलेशनशिप हमारी कौन सी है? दिस वन, x इनटू y. अगर ये मीडिएशन के बावजूद, इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ मीडिएशन, अगर ये सिग्निफिकेंट आ रहा है, स्टिल इट इज सिग्निफिकेंट, दिस p वैल्यू लेस देन 0.05, तब हम कहेंगे इसको पार्शियल मीडिएशन। फुल मीडिएशन कब होगा? जब ये इसको इनसिग्निफिकेंट बना देगा, अपनी प्रेजेंस में मीडिएशन जब इसकी रिलेशनशिप को सिग्निफिकेंट बना देगा। अगर ये सिग्निफिकेंट नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट बना देता है इसको, कि इसका कोई रिलेशन ना रहे इसकी प्रेजेंस में, तब कहेंगे कि हाँ ये मीडिएशन जो है फुल मीडिएशन है और ये इसको इनसिग्निफिकेंट इसने बना दिया, या क्या हमारा फुल मीडिएशन। ठीक है, तो इसकी जो है कुछ अभी हम वो ले लेते हैं इसकी केस स्टडी। और इसके साथ साथ एक चीज और है, द इनडायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट टर्म, वो हमको और समझना है कि ये तो देखिए फुल मीडिएशन आ गया। सो द कंडीशन ऑफ फुल मीडिएशन, the step 1 it should be significant, step 2 significant, step 3 significant, and step 4 when we are taking two variable independent and mediation variable, दोनों को जब ले रहे हैं तब रिलेशनशिप अगर दोनों ही सिग्निफिकेंट आते हैं तो इसको कहते हैं पार्शियल मीडिएशन। ठीक है, फुल मीडिएशन में हमने क्या देखा कि फुल मीडिएशन, दिस फुल मीडिएशन में तीनों स्टेप्स में p वैल्यू लेस देन 0.05 होनी चाहिए, ये भी सिग्निफिकेंट सिग्निफिकेंट सिग्निफिकेंट, एंड लास्ट वाले में ये अगर नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट आ रहा है x और y का जो रिलेशनशिप है, तब हम कहेंगे ये फुल्ली मीडिएट कर रहा है, ये वाला पूरा इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है इस वेरिएबल को x को। ठीक है, और थर्ड कंडीशन हमारी क्या हो सकती है, जिसमें एक भी हमारा जो है या तो ये नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट आ जाए, इनमें से कोई भी, पहला वाला या दूसरा नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट या तीसरा नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट। तो और अगर हम मीडिएशन कर रहे हैं शुरुआत में ही, अगर हमारा मीडिएशन नहीं आता है, इसमें सिग्निफिकेंट नहीं आता कोई भी एक वेरिएबल, तो हम कहेंगे कि ये जो है मीडिएशन इसमें नहीं है। सर ये माइक
सर ये थोड़ा सा सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन, ये जो पार्शियल मीडिएशन और मॉडरेशन में तो कुछ ज्यादा फर्क नहीं लगा। आई मीन उसमें भी आपका जो ये वेरिएबल है वो सिग्निफिकेंट रहता है, इसमें भी आप कह रहे हैं कि सिग्निफिकेंट रहेगा, तो
नहीं उसमें अंतर है सर, अंतर है दोनों में। एक मिनट सर, जरा माइक म्यूट कर लीजिए। हेलो,
हाँ हाँ जी, हाँ जी,
नहीं हाँ माइक म्यूट। अब मैं आपका सर जवाब दे रहा हूँ। देखिए डॉक्टर साहब, इसमें सर जैसे मीडिएशन और मॉडरेशन पार्शियल का आपने पूछा ना, तो पार्शियल में सर होता क्या है, देखिए जैसे मॉडरेशन ये है हमारा, ये ठीक है, ये x आ गया और ये y आ गया। ठीक, ये हमारा है मॉडरेशन। तो मॉडरेशन जो है ना, ये इसको सिग्निफिकेंट अगर है, नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट बना सकता है या इसकी डायरेक्शन भी चेंज कर सकता है। इफ इट इज पॉजिटिव देन विद द प्रेजेंस ऑफ मॉडरेशन इट बिकम्स नेगेटिव। ठीक है, या इसकी जो स्ट्रेंथ है उसके भी इसको चेंज कर सकता है। ठीक, ये तो हो गया हमारा मॉडरेटर वेरिएबल। मॉडरेटर वेरिएबल जो है इसको मॉडरेट कर रहा है, इसकी स्ट्रेंथ को कम ज्यादा कर सकता है। ठीक है, जैसे हम स्कूटर का एक्सीलेटर दे रहे हैं, कम ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, मॉडरेट। ठीक, अब जो मीडिएशन है, मीडिएशन में जैसे हमने ये बताया कि दिस इज मीडिएशन और ये हमारा इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है और ये हमारा है सर दिस। तो ये अगर हमने इसको लिया मीडिएटर को और इसकी रिलेशनशिप अब भी हमारी सिग्निफिकेंट है ना, इसको इंक्लूड करने के बाद, तब इसका इम्पैक्ट जो कम पड़ रहा है, पार्शियली मीडिएट कर रहा है, इसको फुल्ली मीडिएट नहीं कर रहा है। जबकि ये जो मॉडरेशन है हमारा, ये इसकी जो रिलेशनशिप है इसको कम या ज्यादा कर रहा है, इसको कम या ज्यादा कर रहा है रिलेशनशिप को। ठीक है, तो ये बेसिक डिफरेंस है। मीडिएशन दो तरीके से काम कर सकता है, एक तो इसका इम्पैक्ट इतना हो कि इसको ये इनसिग्निफिकेंट बना दे इसकी प्रेजेंस में, तब तो हम कहेंगे कि ये फुल मीडिएशन है। और अगर ये नहीं बनाता है क्या कहते हैं इसको, इनसिग्निफिकेंट, तो ये हमारा जो है फिर पार्शियल मीडिएशन कहते हैं इसको। ठीक है
सर, बात है कि इक्वेशन तो दोनों केसेस में सेम ही है।
जी जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
उसके अंदर एम जो है एक जगह मॉडरेटर है, एक जगह मीडिएटर है, इक्वेशन
दोनों
सेम है।
इक्वेशन सेम है सर, दोनों में ही सर हमारे मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस लगेगी, और दोनों ही हमारा जो है ये रिग्रेशन के ही केसेस हैं, मीडिएशन और मॉडरेशन। ठीक है, तो ये तो हो गया हमारा मीडिएशन और मॉडरेशन। इसके बाद जो मैं
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
यस सर।
मॉडरेशन में तो हम इंटरेक्शन वेरिएबल भी तो इंक्लूड करते हैं।
किसमें?
मॉडरेशन में जो
हाँ
इंटरेक्शन वेरिएबल,
हाँ इंटरेक्शन करते हैं।
हाँ जी, इंटरेक्शन वेरिएबल को इंक्लूड करते हैं इसमें रिग्रेशन इक्वेशन में।
किसमें?
रिग्रेशन इक्वेशन में, मॉडरेशन में हम इंटरेक्शन वेरिएबल कैलकुलेट करते हैं, तो ये मीडिएशन में नहीं करते हैं।
नहीं,
ठीक है,
क्योंकि सर इंटरेक्शन का मतलब ही मॉडरेटर है, मॉडरेटर को हम इंटरेक्शन भी कहते हैं।
ओके, मीडिएशन में हम इंटरेक्शन वेरिएबल, न्यू वेरिएबल क्रिएट नहीं करते हैं।
नहीं।
ओके,
एक मिनट, इसमें जो है ये आपका आ गया। अभी मैं इसका केस स्टडी से सर मैं इसको अभी बता देता हूँ आपको, है ना। केस स्टडी हम लेंगे, उससे बिल्कुल क्लियर हो जाएगा।
ओके सर,
ठीक है। तो अभी देखिए, एक तो ये हो गया, इंटरेक्शन और मीडिएशन एक ही बात है। हेलो
Sir,
Sir, interaction and moderation are the same thing.
sir, moderation same है कि mediation?
Moderation. Interaction and moderation are same.
Okay, sir, thank you.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
okay. Actually some participants from South India also, so they cannot understand Hindi, so I will try to speak in English also. Okay, so आप लोग भी कोशिश कीजिए, बहुत ज्यादा कठिन इंग्लिश मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, तो उसमें हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं आउटसाइड नॉर्दर्न इंडिया, तो वो भी उसको समझ पाएंगे। ओके, नाउ the next is, so I was talking about the mediation and moderation. So the one thing we should understand, that is the indirect effect. So what is indirect effect? Basically I told you there are two this is mediation. So in the mediation, that is y dependent variable and this is x independent variable. Okay, so this is the when we see the relationship between this and this, x and y, this is known as direct effect. This is direct effect. And when we see the impact of x through this way, this route, okay, so this is known as indirect effect. Indirect, okay, one route is this and second is directly. So this total effect means total effect equal to direct effect plus indirect effect. So total effect, what is total effect? When we do not take any mediation in our model, then this relationship known as total effect. Total effect, and notation of sign is this C, and direct effect sign is C dash. Okay, so this is C dash plus AB. So we cannot perform the indirect effect in SPSS directly. So we perform it through the, there are many tests to checking the indirect effect, whether this indirect effect is significant or not. So we can check the direct effect, whether direct effect significant or not, but we cannot check A into B, means indirect effect through SPSS. So we use the Sobel test, through Sobel test. So through Sobel test, when we put the value of the standard in this Sobel test, the slope value and standard error value, then we can find the indirect effect. Okay, the indirect effect we can find. So I am taking the very simple case study. In the first case study, we are taking where partial mediation. Okay, so partial mediation, So we want to check the partial mediation. This is the case study of partial mediation. So in this case study, I think you can see this. So there are three variables. One is age, weight, SBP, systolic blood pressure. So I am drawing the mediation here, mediation path. This is my mediation, okay, and the y, that is our dependent variable, and this is x. So through this case study, the SBP, systolic blood pressure, it is depend on the age. As your age increases, so blood pressure may increase. And second is the another mediation, the value. This means it is a weight. Weight also influence your blood pressure. As your weight increase, naturally your blood pressure may increase. So there are three variables. One is independent variable age, mediator variable weight, independent variable age, mediator variable weight, and dependent variable blood pressure. Okay. So according to Baroni, the four step, the first step, what is the first step? In the first step, we check the relationship between x and y. This x and y, simple regression analysis we perform, and this relationship should be significant. It means less than 2 p-value. And second means we want to check the relationship between x and m. M means mediator. It is simple regression analysis, and again p-value should be less than 0.05. And in the third case, this one, weight and blood pressure, or the y, our dependent variable, m is independent variable. This is okay. So this relationship should be less than 0.05. And the fourth,
Sir,
yes.
Sir, how can we say that this weight is a mediator? Why not a moderator? Because the weight increases the strength of blood pressure, right? It increases as well as decreases the stress on blood pressure, right? Am I right or not?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. देखिए मैडम, ऐसा है, you are right. जो वेरिएबल्स है ना, कोई भी, either it is dependent or independent variables. माइक म्यूट कर लीजिए आप एक मिनट, माइक म्यूट कर लीजिए. So dependent and independent variables. So sometimes एक मिनट.
Sir, I think the question was why this M is a mediator, not a moderator.
सर वही मैं बता रहा हूँ सर. मीडिएटर और मॉडरेटर, कोई भी वेरिएबल कैन, mediator variable can become moderator, moderator variable can become mediator, and if means dependent variable, that is it can become independent variable with respect to the relationship. Like I am giving the simple example, like y, that is sales, okay, sales, and x is advertising expenses. So this is the dependent variable with respect to the advertising expenses. Means if we advertising expenses more, then sale may be more. But this sales does not, it is not constant. It may change. Means when we take the relationship y and x, x means this is sales and this is profit. So earlier it was this sale was dependent variable, but with respect to profit, then it becomes the independent variables. Like more sale, more profit, no sale, no profit. So जो ये weight हम जो ले रहे हैं ना, ये हमेशा कोई ये mediator होगा या moderator होगा, ये ऐसा नहीं है. Weight may be dependent variable, some relationship, it may be independent variables. तो ये depend करेगा कि कौन सी study में हमने इसको क्या लिया है. ठीक है. Now next is
Yes, sir, I completely understood the mediation and the moderation impact. But
जी
in this case, I'm talking about, should we take weight? How can we matlab, think like this weight is
मैडम
a moderator, not mediator? Or
मैडम ये
my question was like that.
देखिए आप ये हाइपोथेटिकल स्टडी है और
Okay, sir.
हाँ है ना, तो वेरिएबल अब
Fine.
अपने जब व्हेन यू अप्लाई द मीडिएशन एंड मॉडरेशन, सो व्हाटएवर वेरिएबल यू आर सेलेक्टिंग, सो यू शुड गो थ्रू द लिटरेचर रिव्यू। तो जो भी हम मीडिएशन या मॉडरेशन कर रहे हैं उसके बेसिस पर हम लोग वो वेरिएबल सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। ओके, नाउ यस सर।
सर ये बीच में सर आप एक टर्म बोल रहे हैं बरौनी, सर वो बॉर्न फेरोनी को रिलेशन को ही आप बोल रहे हैं?
नहीं, वो बेटा अलग है, वो अलग है। ये देखिए ये है ना, ये बैरोन कैनी ना अलग है, ये बैरोन कैनी अलग है, वो अलग है। ठीक है, ये स्लाइड्स आपको मिल जाएंगी, शायद मिल भी गई होंगी। हाँ
थैंक यू सर।
तो ठीक है, अब मैं देखिए इसको थोड़ा कंप्लीट कर लूं, थोड़ी क्वेरी हम इसके बाद ले लेंगे। अभी 2 एग्जाम वो ले लें, ठीक है। ये केस स्टडी आई वाज डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द पार्शियल mediation. Okay, so I have written here the x, it is independent variable, it may be anything, mediator variable, it may be anything, and y, that is dependent variable. So in this study I have taken the dependent variable blood pressure, it is depend on age, and as well as another variable mediator variable weight. Okay, now the first 3 condition means the relationship between y and x, it should be significant, then relationship between x and y significant, and then relationship between y and m significant. In the fourth step, step 4, when we take all the variables, means dependent variable plus independent variable plus moderator variable, okay, then it is significant, mediator significant, and as well as this independent variable also significant, then it's a case of partial mediation. Okay, if it is still significant, then it is a partial mediation, and if it is not significant, this one, then it's a case of full mediation. Now I am performing 4 steps. So in the first step, I am checking the simple regression analysis. So simple regression analysis here. Now the simple regression analysis analyze descriptive statistics and the regression linear. Okay, so in the first case, the SBP, that is dependent variable, I am transferring here an age. In the first step, according to Baron and Kenny, so I am just simply checking the significant, whether both the variables significant or not through simple regression analysis, and okay. So what is our result? Okay, now we can see the relationship between y and x. Y and x, it is significant because p value less than 0.05. So first step complete. Now we perform second step. In a second step, we will take the m as a dependent variable, analyze regression and linear. So here m, that is dependent variable, and x, it is independent variable, and okay, and after okay we will get the result. This is our result. Here we can see the relationship between, this is the age, that is x, and weight, that is moderator. Okay, so moderator and x, the relationship again it is significant because p value less than 0.05. Now third stage, in the third case when we take moderator and the dependent variable y, analyze, regression and linear, and reset. So blood pressure, it is dependent variable, and weight, it is independent variable, and okay. So what is the value? So value we can see here, again it is significant, p value. So this is less than 0.05. It means all the three stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, means this is our mediator variable, and x and y, there are two independent. X, again it is independent variable, and m also independent variable. Okay. Now in the first case, this is significant, this one significant, this is significant. Now we will take simultaneously both the equation x, both the variables x and m. So it is a multiple regression analysis, because in two we are taking two independent variables. So here this is the what is analyze and regression, and in regression plus, so SBP dependent variable and both variable independent, and then X. Okay. Now the relationship between the two, it is not significant. Still it is significant. It means in the step 4 y equal to the minus 28.046 plus 2.161 into x plus 0.49 into m. So it should be m, means mediator variable with dependent variable should be significant. So what is the value? The age and blood pressure, this is age value, this is 0.00. Okay, and this one dependent variable blood pressure. So it is significant, and this value also significant for partial mediation. So what is the x, another term is weight, that is mediator variable. So x basically it is independent variable age, and this one again both the variables less than 0.05. So there is a means this effect is, it's a partial mediation. Now question is this, whether the y, x and m. Okay. Now we want to check whether this AB means this one and this one, indirect effect, it is significant or not. So we can check this effect x and y. Yes, x and y, age and y, this BP, it is significant, but our output is not giving the indirect effect, the whether A and B significant or not. So for indirect effect, we check, we apply Sobel test. Okay. So in this case, Sobel test, so there are some values we need to take some values in a Sobel test. So we need 4 values. What are the 4 values? One is the value A, this is the this mediator variable, this one x, and this is y. Okay, so this is, we need A means regression coefficient between the x and y, and standard error, that is SA, and second is B and SB. Okay, so if we put all the 4 values in a Sobel test calculator, then we can find the indirect effect, whether this indirect effect significant or not. If p value less than 0.05, it means significant. If p value greater than 0.05, it means not significant. Okay. Now question is how to calculate these values. So it is the simple regression analysis with X and M. So we will get this A and SA from the equation or step 2. Okay. So I am searching the step 2. The step 2. This is, I think this one is the dependent variable weight, and yes, this is okay. So through second equation, so we will find the value of A. So here, what is the value of A? This is the 1 point. The value of A, that is 1.432. And what is the standard error? This is 0.397. Okay. Now we need the B and standard. So the equation number 4, we use equation number 4 to get the value of B and SE. What is the equation? This is my equation. So this equation number 4. So equation number 4 means multiple regression analysis when we take both the variable dependent and mediator variable. So B means this one, B. Okay, this B means moderator and dependent variable. So here weight is mediator variable. So what is the value of B? B value is 0.490 and standard error value the 0.187. Okay, so we will put all the 4 values in a online Sobel test calculator and then find the indirect effect, whether this indirect effect is significant or not. Okay, so how to perform it? So I am opening the Google and I am writing Sobel test significance calculator. Okay, so it is free Sobel test calculator for significance of the mediation. I think you can see it. Okay, now I am just clicking here and opening the Sobel calculator. Yes, this is the Sobel calculator. Okay, now here A, this is the this one our A. So what is the A? I have written here. So I am writing 1.432. And what is the B? B means 0.47. B means 0.49. Sorry, it's a 0.49. A B means 0.49. And what is the standard error of A? 0.397. And what is the standard error of B? It is 0.187. Okay, and then just click calculate, and now we will get the value. Okay, so what is the value? It is the 2.11. And what is the P value? So P value, it is greater than, sorry, less than 0.05. So it means the indirect effect is significant. So through but in a process macro, we do not need to use Sobel test. There we in a process macro directly we can get the value of Sobel test there. Okay, so now this is about the full means partial mediation. Now I am taking the case of the full mediation, the another case study, that is full mediation. Mediation, this is for, it's a case study of full mediation. There are 3 variable X, Y, and the M. M is mediation. So here the academic performance, intelligence quotient, and self study, there are 3 variables. So here we want to check whether all the three steps. In the first step, we check the relationship between y and x. This is this is academic performance and IQ. So what is the relationship? We know that the higher the IQ, academic performance may be high. There is a positive correlation between the two variables. And second, mediator variable. So mediator variable, that is self-study. If your academic IQ level high, but you do not devote time to self-study, then your academic performance would be low. If your IQ level good or less and you devote more time to self-study, then your academic performance would be good. So here we want to check whether this self-study significantly influencing the two variables or not. Significantly means with the presence of this mediation variable, the relationship between y and x not significant. Okay, it is not significant, but we are performing the 4 steps. In the first step, the relationship between x and y, it's a condition, it should be less than 0.05. It should be significant. In second condition, when we take the m and x, again p value should be less than 0.05. Third condition, this and this, the x, it is m. Okay, m and x, so no problem. Then y, sorry, m and this is y. Again, it should be less than 0.05. These are the these 3 steps common for full mediation and partial mediation. Now the 4th step. In the 4th step, step 4th. So in the 4th step, y equal to b0 plus b1 x plus b2 m. Okay, now it should be significant, but this should be insignificant for case of full mediation. So p value should be greater than 0.05. Okay, so one by one we will apply all the 4 steps and check the value of this. Now the simple mediation. So we are just checking the simple regression analysis. Analyze regression, linear, and then academic performance, that is dependent variable, IQ level x independent variable, and okay. So what is our output? Yes, there is a significant the IQ and academic performance, the p value, that is less than 0.05. It means significant relationship between the two variables. Now we check the relationship between the independent variable and mediation. So analyze, regression, and linear, and the self-study, that is dependent variable here, and IQ independent variable. Okay, and then okay, it should be again significant. You can see the IQ and self-study. Self-study means mediator variable, so the p value, it is less than 0.05. Now we check third step, analyze, regression, linear, and then the self-study as a independent variable, and academic performance, that is y, it is independent variable. Self-study independent variable and academic performance dependent variable, and then okay. So what is the relationship? Yes, it is. Now we can see it is significant, 0.00. Now fourth step, we perform multiple regression analysis. We will take simultaneously independent variable x and a mediator variable. Okay, now analyze regression and linear, the academic performance dependent variable, IQ and self-study independent variables, and then okay. Yes, now you can see the impact. So here it is not significant. This is not significant because p-value greater than 0.05 and it is significant. So y equal to, what is my model? 18.863 plus 0.317 into x. X means IQ and plus 7.064 into self-study. So I told you the mediator should be significant. So what is the significant? It is significant, self-study. It is less than 0.05. And this should be, IQ level should be insignificant. It means it is greater than 0.05. Okay, it means if your IQ level high and you do not devote time to study, your academic performance would not be good. So this is about it's a case of full mediation. Now same as we can check the through the Sobel test, we can use it.
Sir, just one more clarification. I think it will help everyone.
Yes.
In all the equations you mentioned that E. So I mean, do we get E anywhere in these?
No, E sir actually क्या है? E basically it's a unexplained. कोई भी जब भी मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस हम लेते हैं तो उसका ये एरर टर्म है बेसिकली. E बेसिकली जो है, जो हमने मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस में भी हमें बताया कि जो मल्टीपल जो ये क्या कहते हैं, कोई भी मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस y इक्वल टू b0 प्लस b1 x1 प्लस b2 x2 प्लस b3 x3, ये हमारे इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल प्लस E मींस इसमें आउटपुट में E शो नहीं कर रहा है. E व्हाट वुड बी द E जो टोटल हमारा वेरिएंस जो हो रहा है इसमें, जैसे मान लीजिए r स्क्वायर दिस इज 0.938, ठीक है ना, कोफिशिएंट ऑफ डिटरमिनेशन, दिस इज एक्सप्लेन्ड पार्ट एंड E मींस 1 माइनस 0.938. ओके, so why do avoid the relation of weight with SBP? Weight with SBP we have taken, sir. We have checked all the three relationship we have taken. Okay, so your question is why did you not take the Y and M? Sir, we have taken all the relationship. One is now I am talking about here another case study, that is academic performance. Now this is self-study. Okay, and this Y, that is IQ, and Y, that is DV. So with the presence of this mediator variable, we see it becomes the not significant. It is not significant. So now we will check it through the Sobel test whether this indirect effect, because direct effect, what is direct effect? Direct effect is this x into y. So total effect equal to direct effect plus indirect effect. Okay, so direct effect, we can take direct effect. So from the equation from the step 1, we take the direct effect, the self-study, and no, where is my this IQ and this. So what is the direct effect here? So direct effect would be the, we can see here direct effect. 1 point IQ and academic performance. This is direct effect. 1.1. The direct effect is 1 point. I am taking direct effect from here. This is. So what is the direct effect? Sorry, not direct effect. It is a total effect. So this is 1.195. So here we check whether this indirect effect it is significant or not. So we use the Sobel test. Again, in a Sobel test, when we apply the Sobel test, so here we need 4 values, means 2 value from this equation, this. Okay, so we need A and SA, and we need B and SB. Okay, so when we put so A and SA, we will get from the step 2, and the B and SB from step 4. So we will put all the value in the Sobel test calculator and find whether this is significant or no. Okay, now Sobel test. Sobel test calculator. So we are using Sobel test calculator. So the value from the step 2, the path coefficient 0.124, and the M means what is the B? 7.064, and then SA, what is the value? 0.009, and value of standard error, it is 1.984, and we calculate it. So we will check the p value. Yes, p value it is less than 0.05, and t value, that is it should be greater than 1.96. So it is 3.477. Okay, so this is about the Sobel test. Now we, yes sir.
सर जो p वैल्यू होता है वो केवल 2 टेल्ड वाला होता है, 1 टेल नहीं होता है?
भैया दोनों होते हैं अमित जी, 1 टेल्ड और 2 टेल्ड दोनों। देखो p वैल्यू 1 टेल्ड और 2 टेल्ड हमने उस दिन भी बताया था कि 1 टेल्ड जब 2 तरीके के होते हैं, हाइपोथेसिस डायरेक्शनल और नॉन डायरेक्शनल। जब हमें पता होता है कि what would be the outcome, then we take 1-tailed study. When we do not know anything what will be the outcome, then we take 2-tailed study. Okay, उसके लिए जो बुक है आप वो पढ़ सकते हैं एंडी फील्ड की डिटेल में। After this now I am using the process macro to perform the this full mediation and partial mediation. So it is very easy to perform the full mediation and partial mediation. So this I am taking the, first of all I am performing through partial mediation. It is very how to perform mediation in process macro. Okay, so in a process macro, analyze and then regression and this process macro. Okay, process, analyze, regression, process. After that, what should we do? Now there are 3 variables. SBP means blood pressure, that is it is dependent variable, and X, that is independent variable. So I am transferring here, and weight, it is mediator. Okay, and model number. What is model number? It's model number 4. For mediation we use model number 4. So you can take it from this templates. It is provided by the Andrew Heath. So this is model number 1. For we use for it moderation, and for mediation, that is model number 4. I am opening model number 4. This is model number 4. So we have large number of models. So there are some complex model also. Yesterday I showed you these are some complex models. Okay, so we are using here model number 4. So the model number 4, the model number 4, and about, continue, options. So we can take total effect and effect size, and then continue. Or multi categorical, continue, and this is model number 4. Okay, and then okay. Yes, this is my output. Now I am interpreting this output. I think which values. To some values, analyze, regression, options, total effect model. Only I need this. Academic performance, IQ, self history. Now the output, I'm explaining the output. It takes time. Okay, so in this case we can see there are the model 1, model number 4, and then there are 3 variables where we can see here. One is a dependent variable, that is y, and another independent variable. This is dependent, the model number 4. This is dependent variable, independent variable, and x. Like this m, this is mediation, y, and x and y. This is my mediation. Okay. Now what is the sample size? 20. Now we check the multiple r and r square. What is r square? 91% It should be greater than 60%. So it is good, and it is also significant. Now this is about the outcome variable m and x. It's a simple regression analysis between m and x. This relationship between x and m, and this should be significant. So what is the p-value? So here we check p-value. This is significant. Okay, so from this table we check whether the relationship between x and m significant or not. Yes, it is significant. Now I interpret next table. I move to next table. This is my next table. Okay, so next table. Now through the next table, so in the previous table, so the y, not y, m equal to b0 plus b1x, and it was significant. Now here the outcome variable y, and there are two variable. It means fourth stage. It's a fourth stage when we take both the variable. So in the fourth stage, y equal to b0 plus b1x plus b2m. So it should be, what is the value of m? This is significant, this value, p value less than 0.05, significant, and it should be not significant for full mediation. So what is the value of x? It is not significant. Okay. Now next, the total and total effect, and whether indirect effect significant or not. Earlier we used a Sobel calculator to find the indirect effect, but here we can check directly. So in this table, and this table also we can see the outcome variable and the x. Okay, what is the relationship? Again, it should be significant. So this is the p value, it is significant. It means from the all the three tables we found the relationship between this is significant, yes, y and x. Okay, in the first table we checked the relationship between this and this, it was significant, and it was also significant from the other table. And the third table we found the table where both the independent variables were in a equation. Now the total effect. So total effect equal to direct effect plus indirect effect. Okay, so direct effect, it's a relationship between x and y. It is significant, this and this, you can check, this is significant. Now what with the indirect effect? So when we do not use a process macro, we find indirect effect through Sobel test calculator. But here we do not need to use Sobel test calculator. So this indirect effect, you can see, this is the indirect effect. So the total effect means direct effect plus indirect effect. So what is the direct effect? The direct effect is this. This is the value, the direct effect is this 0.31, and it is not significant with the presence of the mediator variable. Now indirect effect, whether it is significant or not, so through these values, both the values, if both the values are positive or both the value negative, then we can say it is significant. This is significant indirect effect. If any value positive, then we will say indirect effect not significant. But here both the values are positive, then we will say it is a indirect effect is significant. Now I am taking another case study, partial mediation. It's a case of full mediation. Now I am taking another case study.
Sir, just one thing, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but now here the direct effect, it is showing insignificant. Direct effect. What does it mean? I mean, when the initial equation x and y, it was showing significant. Now when we are taking both,
you are right, sir. Yes. Okay. I am explaining. So it's a case of full mediation, sir. So I'm explaining again, sir. I told you earlier. So this is, sir, mediator, and this one is independent variable x, and this one is dependent variable. And this, so it is the condition when we perform mediation technique, then the step 1, it should be significant. Okay, p value should be less than 0.05. Step 2, again it should be significant, and step 3, it means it should be significant. But in step 4, the relationship between this and this become insignificant. It means the academic performance depend on IQ level. High IQ level, high academic performance. But when we introduce this mediator variable self-study, it means if IQ level high and self-study 0, then your academic performance would be low. If IQ level high and you give more time to self-study, then academic performance high. It means this self-study influencing or influencing the relationship between the two variables. So it means if it is influencing the fully, and if it is significant before mediator enter, and when we add the mediator, then it should become the not significant. It means mediation is working. It means there are 3 persons. One person is mediator, and another independent variable, and third is dependent variable. So mediator role to control the relationship between the two. If the mediator means create the insignificant relationship between the two persons, then he is working the full mediation. Okay, so here it's a case of full mediation, because with the presence of x and y, m, it becomes the insignificant, and we can see the value of insignificant. Now the partial mediation, let's take now second case is partial mediation. In a partial mediation, all the p values, means p for step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4, all the p values should be less than 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, it means the mediator not working. Mediator role is not, it's a partial mediation. So here the term m, this is mediation, and term x mediator, and this is the x. Okay, so this is now in the first step, step 1, the relationship between this and this, it should be significant. The second step, the relationship should be significant, means this and this, m and x. And in the step 3, the relationship between this and this should be significant. And after mediation, step 4, y equal to b0 plus b1x, we are taking this and another variable m, and plus b2 m. Now with the presence, it should be significant, but with the presence of this mediator, if still this variable is significant, it means mediator role is not effective. So it is, if it is still significant, it means there is a partial mediation. This is a case of partial mediation. Okay, now I am performing it through process macro. How to perform it? So analyze, regression and process. Okay, mute their camera, is just disturb you. Okay. No, Taiba, we do not take for finding the B and SB. So actually we want to check the impact of mediation with the presence, means the impact of mediation on dependent variable. So it's a procedure. It's a theory given by the Baron Kenny कि when we want to check the indirect effect, then we will take A from the step 2 and A and standard error, means path coefficient and standard error, and we do not take M. We do not take M means B with relationship M and Y. So when we apply the multiple regression analysis, so we take B and standard deviation from the in step 4. Okay, because it's a theory, we cannot do anything because this is the theory given by the Baron Kenny. So these are the 4 steps given by the Baron and Kenny. This it's a procedure. So in this first step we perform Y and X, second step M and this. So this is the path coefficient. From second equation we take the M. You can see here this is the path A, and for the step 3 we take the B from this B and standard error. Okay, now the partial mediation. So analyze, then regression, and after regression process, and then age independent variable, Y dependent variable, and weight mediator. Okay, and here model number 4. So I am taking here model number 4, and then about, nothing to do here, options, total effect, direct plus indirect, and then continue, and after continue the multi-categorical, no need to, because we are using only continuous data, then continue, and then okay. Okay, so this is our output. Yes, now you can see the output. I am interpreting one by one all the tables. So in the model, so it's a model number 4, and then there are 3 variables, like one mediator, another independent variable, and this is the dependent variable. Okay, so this is Y, X, M, and sample size 30. Now I move to this table, outcome variable. What is M and X? M and X, M and X, this is this relationship. So whether it is significant or not, it should be significant. P value, from this table we find the value P value. What is the P value? Yes, it is significant. Okay, this is significant. Now I take another value, another table. This table. Okay, now from this table there are 2 independent variable, X and Y. So the Y equal to B0 plus B1X plus B2M. Okay, now the relationship X, M and Y, this and this and this should be significant. So what is the P value? It should be less than 0.05. So what this is? Okay, now what is the relationship between X and Y? It is also significant. Okay, this is also significant. It means it's a partial mediation. It is not fully mediation. It cannot control. This mediator variable has no power to control fully the relationship between X and Y. Okay.
सर,
Yes sir.
सर P वैल्यू तो सर लास्ट में लिखा है, आप तो DF1 को P वैल्यू बोल रहे हैं.
DF1 को
सर P वैल्यू तो लास्ट में लिखा हुआ है.
कहाँ?
0.8728.
ये?
हाँ.
अरे भैया ये है P वैल्यू यार, देखो ना. अमित,
जी सर।
अरे बेटा ये देखो तो सही यार, ये पी वैल्यू नहीं लिखा है इधर, ये क्या लिखा है?
अच्छा, ठीक है सर, हम वो उसके ऊपर वाला देख रहे थे। थैंक यू
बेटा
सर।
वो तो अपर लिमिट, वो है ना अपर लिमिट कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल, ठीक है अमित?
ओके सर, ओके सर, ओके सर।
कहाँ, बनारस में ही हो कहीं और हो, ये बताओ।
सर बनारस में ही है सर।
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है भैया, ठीक, ओके। सो ये देखिए पी वैल्यू, इट इज सिग्निफिकेंट इन बोथ द केसेस। नाउ आई मूव टू दिस नेक्स्ट टेबल। This table. So from this table, outcome variable. Now the relationship between this and this means this one, it should be significant, y and x. So this is our p value. So again it is significant. Okay, now third relationship we found the another relationship, the direct and indirect effect of x on y, whether it is significant or not. So total effect equal to direct effect plus indirect effect. So direct effect, it is significant, you can see y and x, it is significant. What is indirect effect? So indirect effect, this is our indirect effect. So how will we find the indirect effect, whether it is significant or not? The plus, if both the value plus or both the value minus, then we can say it is the indirect effect is significant. So here both the value positive, so here the indirect effect is also significant. So here we can see it's a case of partial mediation, because with the presence of this mediation, the relationship between x and y is still significant. Okay, so here we are taking 5 minutes break, and after that we will start the exploratory factor analysis. So please do not do not go away.
हाँ सर, आवाज नहीं आ रहा। हेलो।
ब्रेक है अभी ब्रेक है, इसके बाद आवाज आएगा।
हेलो। Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we start. Okay. Sir, can you see this slide? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
ये विजिबल नहीं हो रही ना? अच्छा। ओके। देखिए, अब दिख रही है स्लाइड ये? Can you see this slide?
दिख रही है।
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Visible.
Okay. Thank you. Now, the exploratory factor analysis. So, the purpose of exploratory factor analysis it is an interdependence technique whose primary purpose is to define the underlying structure among the variables in the analysis. What does it mean? So, in a exploratory factor analysis, basically the purpose, the first thing is it is an interdependence technique. What does it mean? So, multivariate techniques, there are two types of multivariate technique. One is dependence technique. Yesterday I discussed about the dependence and interdependence. In a dependence technique, we find the relationship between the dependent and independent variable, like in case of multiple regression analysis. Okay, so it means it's a relationship between y and x. It's a dependence relationship. Means if you increase x, y will change. If you decrease x, y will change. So it's a dependence relationship. But second type, that is interdependence technique, here we do not find any we do not find any relationship between the two variables. So the
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. Sir, your voice is very low, sir.
अच्छा. Okay.
Voice is okay, sir. I think there is some network.
कभी नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, लेकिन ठीक है, मैं इसको ओके ठीक है, मैं देखिए ओके. So the basic purpose of the exploratory factor analysis, it is define the underlying structure among the variables. It means through exploratory factor analysis, we identify the latent phenomena, which cannot be directly observed, like swine flu. I am giving the example of swine flu. If someone has swine flu, then no one can directly identify whether the particular patient has swine flu or not, unless he tell about some symptoms like cough, fever, sore throat, stuffy, runny nose, body ache, headache, chills, fatigue. These are the symptoms. So on the basis of some symptoms, we identify the latent phenomena like customer satisfaction. So directly we cannot observe whether the particular customer satisfied or not. So on the basis of several questions, means observed variable means questions. So on the basis of the questions, we identify the latent phenomena, means satisfaction, whether the particular customer satisfied or not. So the basic, there are two main purpose of factor analysis. One is data reduction. The objective of factor analysis, data summarization and data reduction. So there are 6 stages to 7 stages performing the exploratory factor analysis. One is objective. What is the objective of the factor analysis? Then designing a factor analysis. It means if we want to apply factor analysis, what type of data should we collect in our study? What type of variables, means dependent or independent variables. So whether we take dependent or independent variable. So in case of exploratory factor analysis, we do not distinguish between the dependent and independent variable. Okay, so the whether dependent variable metric or non-metric, whatever variables we are taking, whether they are metric form or non-metric. And then assumptions, there are some assumptions in factor analysis. So if assumptions we fulfill the assumptions, then we can apply the exploratory factor analysis. So these are the steps, like driving factors. We get some factor after conducting the exploratory factors and give the name, interpret, and then validation of factors. And 7th is additional usage of factor analysis. It means after conducting the exploratory factor analysis, further we can use these construct to in a dependence technique. We can perform multiple regression analysis, then we can perform through these factors the independent t-test, ANOVA, or many tests. Okay, so there are two purposes of data summarization and data reduction. What does it mean? Data summarization and data this. So the exploratory factor analysis. Can you see this slide? Please inform me. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Summarization. Okay. Can you
Yes,
see now?
Yes.
Summarization. Okay. Okay. So it is please. Okay. So here we can see the summarization and data reduction. What does it mean? So here we can see the some like A. It's a this A means A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for dog, E for element, F for football, G for grapes, hen, I for ink pot, I for J for joker, K for king. So these are the variables. You can see variables. So now the purpose of factor analysis to combine same nature of variables into one. We club same nature of variables into one. So like here apple, and this is apple, and another grapes, it is and orange, and there is a similarity. Okay, and watermelon. So all the 4 are fruits. We can give the name. All are fruits, means apple, grapes, and then orange, and then watermelon. So summarization means when we club same nature of questions, and then what is the sense of these items? The sense is they all are fruits. So fruits. And then same as another cat, dog, elephant, all are animals, and lion, the okay. So the purpose of the exploratory factor analysis to we can club same nature of the items into one. Like, so here we are giving the name. So the purpose of factor analysis to extract and summarization, because large number of variables, it reduce into few, reduce. Okay, so earlier we were taking 62 items or questions. Now after reducing, so how many factors? This is one factor, and another factor fruit, third factor is spots. So it reduce and it reduce into few factors, and in each factor, like factor 1, the same nature of questions or items we put here. Like the factor 1 is animal. For example, this is my factor 1, animal. So this is like question 1, cat, dog, elephant. Okay, same as another factor, the fruits. Like this is one question, another question, grapes, orange, and watermelon. So there are two purposes of factor analysis. One is data reduction, and summarization. Data reduction means it reduces large number of questions. Whatever questions we are taking in our study, like 60 questions, 40 questions, 50 questions, so it extract. So through this factor analysis, we reduce the data, and then after that, the same natures, the correlated variables, we club all the correlated into one factor. So, and then summarize. Summarization means the what is the sense of these questions. Okay, क्या sense in questions से हमें निकल रहा है, that is summarization. So like cat, dog, elephant. Summarization means the all related to the animals, like apple, orange, grapes, or related to the fruits. So in a factor analysis, the basic purpose of a factor analysis to the factor analysis purpose to reduce the data and summarize the data. Okay, now the data summarization and reduction. Now objective of the factor analysis, is the objective exploratory or confirmatory? So there are two objectives. Exploratory means we want to extract some factors. So for example, we are taking 50 questions and we want to find some factors. So after conducting the exploratory factor analysis, we have 20 variables, and out of the 20 variables, we club same nature of questions, same nature in few factors. Like in factor 1, 4 questions, same nature. In factor 2, 6 questions. Okay, so we can divide these 20 variable into 4 or 5 factors. There are two things: is the objective exploratory or confirmatory? If we are using confirmatory factor analysis, then we perform it through the structural equation modeling. But here our purpose is exploratory factor analysis. Now second is specify the unit of variables. So there are two things. One is variables. Variables means questions, and individual means individual or cases. Okay, respondents. So if we are reducing the variables means large number of questions into few, then it is known as R factor analysis. And if we are reducing the number of respondent into few, then it is Q factor analysis. So this Q factor analysis we can perform cluster analysis. Okay, then data summarization or reduction, and then using factor analysis with other techniques. So after conducting the factor analysis, we found 5 factors, five factors. So then we will find which one is DV and which one is IVs. So after identification of the dependent and independent variables, we can use other techniques also, like we can use multiple regression analysis, means one dependent variable and 4 independent variables, and we can use independent t-test also. T-test we can use further these factor in analysis of variance. Okay, so these are the way to or objective of the exploratory factor analysis. Now, what is the sample size? If we want to apply the exploratory factor analysis, the how many respondents should be in our study? So it's a 10 times. It means if I am taking 40 variables, 40 questions, and I want to apply the EFA, exploratory factor analysis, then sample size should be 10 times, means 400 should be the sample size. Okay, and all the variables should be continuous. It means we should not take any non metric or categorical variables. So all the variables should be the metric or questions, and questions should be prepared either interval or a ratio scale. This is the condition of exploratory factor analysis. Then so how to prepare our questions? So I will perform this case study. So in this case study, there are some statements, perceptual based statements. It's a the company which manufacture the paper, so books. So there are some questions. So I will apply factor analysis in this. I will use these questions, like national company uses online services 0 to 10. 0 means poor and 10 means excellent. So we can prepare our questions like this. Okay. Then driving factors and assessing the overall fit. Latent truth criteria, periodicity criteria, percentage of variance, and scree test criteria. What does it mean? Latent root and scree plot. So this scree test criteria tell us how many factor we should retain in our study. Okay, so it is the latent root criteria, means eigenvalue. If eigenvalue it is above, okay, above the 1, okay, so we should retain those factors only. In our case study, there are 18 variables, or if we are taking 40 variables, so 40 factors will come. But here we will not take all the 40 factors. We take only those factors whose value greater than eigenvalue greater than 1. So here how many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factors. So we will retain only 8 factors. So second method is to how many factor we should retain. So it's a the theory of plant behavior. It's a there are many methods. The first is latent root and scree criteria. Second is periodic criteria, means previously जो whatever our researchers हुए उन्होंने पहले उस particular theory को how did they explain the particular theory. So for example, if you want to conduct the Serquel model, if you want to apply the Serquel model, so earlier the periodic criteria was they divided the 5 factors, the service quality model, into the 5 factors like tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. And each factor has 4 or 5 questions. Okay, same as the, and another is the percentage of variance criteria. So usually the variance should be greater than the 60% when we apply the exploratory factor analysis, and output will give us the variance. So variance, if greater than 60, then it is good. Then process factor rotation, factor matrix, factor rotation. What is factor matrix? So this is my factor matrix. Okay. So in the factor matrix, we can see here the variable 1. This is variable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, many variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 questions. But before, when we are performing the exploratory factor analysis, earlier the variables were 14, 15. Okay. Now, after factor analysis, some variable reduced. Here, the factor matrix tell us about the relationship between this individual variable and the factor. So what is this? It's a simply correlation between the independent variable, this variable, and this factor. It's simply, or here the name of this, it is known as, it is factor loading. So here we use this term factor loading, factor loading. So this is factor loading, but factor loading is simply a correlation between the question and this factor. And same this is the factor loading, and these all are the factor loading. These are factor loading. So it means under this factor, 3 questions are coming under this factor. Under the second, the 3 questions are coming. Under this factor, 3 questions. So what is the criteria to retain the particular question? So theoretically, the factor loading value, this factor loading value should be greater than the factor loading value should be greater than 0.6. 0.6 से ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए. But if it is depend on sample size also. Okay. So अगर sample size, if your sample size is high, then the less value may be desirable for retaining the particular question in the particular factor. Okay. So this next is the communality. When communality means the square of this, the factor loading, it means it's a variance. When we square the correlation, it is known as variance. So square of this plus square of this. So I did not mention here the number because its value very less, 0.123 or 0.015 like this. So here I retained only those items whose value greater than 0.6. Okay. So the how to calculate communality? Communality means square summation of square of this, square, then we will get the communality. Now the sum of square, what is sum of square? When we square of this factor loading, square of this factor loading, and all the other factor loading square vertically, then we get the sum of square. And when we divide this by number of items, number of questions, we get and multiply by the number of questions, then we get the stress, percentage of stress. So when we include this, so I correct it, it is shifted here now. Yes. So okay. So factor rotation, देखिए ये जो है, यस, ये एक मिनट, सॉरी, ये इसको हम ये शिफ्ट करेंगे. देखिए ये एक्चुअली इधर आ गया है, ये ऐसे है, ठीक है. इट इज लाइक दिस, ये अंडर दिस. नाउ द सेकंड इज फैक्टर रोटेशन. Factor rotation, what does it mean? The factor rotation. So factor rotation, or there are orthogonal and oblique factor rotation. What is the purpose of factor rotation? So in a factor matrix, we want, like this is factor matrix F1, F2, F3, and these are the variables. V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, and V6. So we need highly the particular variable highly related with this factor. and unrelated with this. It should be zero value with this. Theoretically, zero value of this means the high value, high correlation means like 0.90, and low correlation means 0.10 or 0.119. So we expect the this variable v1 should be high, either this one or this one. But if it is high with the f2, then it should be unrelated or low with f1 and f3. Okay, so sometimes what happens, the one variable, this one variable give high value under the two factors, like the high value means this is the factor matrix. So in this factor matrix, this is my variable v1, v2, v3 and so on, f1, f2, f3. Okay, so high value means this should give the 0.7, but it is giving here 0.6 also, same as the 0.8 and 0.7. So it's a problem of cross loading when this variable highly related with this factor and this factor, because it's giving high value here and high value here. So what is the solution? How to reduce this cross loading problem? We rotate the factors, this factor rotation. So through factor rotation, the value of individual variable will be high for factor 1 and less value for other. So here the if after rotating the factor matrix, so it will give the high value for this and low value for other variables. High value here, or after factor rotation, low value here. Okay, so we can see through this factor. So this is my variable v1. This is another question, v2, v3, v4, v5. Okay, when we project v1 here, y-axis, this is the value. Okay, and when vertically we see here, so it is almost we can say it is 0.7, and here it is 0.5. So high value, this means the variable v1, it is giving the high value here 0.7 and here 0.5. Okay, and second variable v2, that is v2, this is v2. So when we project here, this, it is almost 0.6 and it is almost 0.6. It means 0.63 and 0.6. So v2, so again this variable is giving high value both. So this type of problem is cross loading. So how to reduce this problem? So we rotate this the axis y and x 90 degree. Okay, 90. So we rotate this rotate. That is why this is rotated factor 2. Earlier it was unrotated and unrotated. Now this is the 90 degree angle. So we rotate both the axes, rotate factor 2 and factor 1. Now when we rotate this factor, dotted line you can see here. So when we project here y1, so in y-axis, this is my y-axis. So its value is high. Its value now, earlier it was the 0.7, but when we rotate the factor, so its value increases. It is almost 0.9, and vertically when I project it, it is almost 0.12 or something. When we project here, so it is the 90 degree, and here in x-axis, in y-axis, it is almost 0.85 and it is 0.15 or something. So rotated factor rotation reduce the cross loading problem. So it's a problem because we want to take one variable into the one factor. Now sample size. The I discussed about the sample size. The desirable sample size should be 0.6, means factor loading. Each variable's factor loading should be greater than 0.6. But sometimes if our sample size if we increase the sample size, then this is also desirable. Less value of factor loading also desirable. And then, so process after interpretation. Sometimes if the variables re-specification of factor model if needed may be involved, means deletion of variable from the analysis, desire to use different rotational approach, need to extract a number of factors, desire to change the method of extraction. If some items are not related to or giving the very low values or unrelated with this the exploratory factor analysis, then we can delete these variables. So here I am taking, so after the first stage 5th, so if stage 5th, we give the naming of factors. So the under factor 1, 3 questions were there: complaint resolution, delivery speed, and the order and billing. So basically, what is the sense of these questions? So it is the choice of the researcher to give the name of the particular factor. So complaint resolution, delivery speed, order and billing. So I think its name should be customer service, because all the 3 variables are related to the after sales service. Second, the Salesforce image, online service, advertising. So I think it is related to marketing. So I give the name, give the marketing. And third, only 3 variables are related to product. So I have given the name, product, value. So what is the purpose? First purpose is data reduction. Data reduction means large number of variables into few. And second is summarization. Summarization means we summarize on the basis of the questions, we give the name of the particular factor. Okay. Now I perform the exploratory factor analysis. Okay. Now is it visible to you? Please देख लीजिए. Can you see the? सर ये देखिए, क्या देख पा रहा है? देख पा रहे हैं इसको?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
ठीक ठीक ठीक. अब देखिए we are performing the exploratory factor analysis. ये कैलिप जो देखिएगा. So these are our questions. So total 20 questions, but I will use only 14 questions. Okay. So these you can see here. These are the questions, and this is the labels. Value 0 to 10. 0 means not the poor condition, and 10 means excellent condition. So these questions we have given the question to some clients, and how many? About 120. So total sample size here 120. So first of all, what should we do? First of all, we should check the correlation among the all variables. Means I am taking 14 variable in this study. So I want to check whether all the variables are correlated or not significantly. So analyze, correlate, and bivariate. Okay. I'm simply checking the correlation. Analyze, correlate, bivariate. and I am selecting all the 14 variables. These are the 14 variables. All variables I have selected, and I am transferring here variables, and then OK. After OK, we see the output. This is our output. So this we want correlated variables. This first question means in every column, like column number 1, national, second, this company provide, third, column 4th, column 5th. In every column, there should be some star. Star tell us the particular question is related to other or not. So in this first column, we can see there is a star. Second star, you can see here star, here star, and here star, 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 and then in this column star. So every column, I think, no, one variable, it is not there. In question number 13, you can see there is no star here. Okay, so it is not related to our study, so we can delete it. Now after it, so this is the exploratory. Now we take only the 13 questions. So I am removing this 13 number variable and conducting again correlation. Now we see the star here, star, we can see star, star, star. In every column we can see the star. So there is no problem of correlation. I think this variable, yes, here we have one variable. Okay, so there is no problem. Now we will perform the directly exploratory factor analysis. So how to perform? Analyze dimensions, reductions, and factor. Analyze dimension, reductions, and factors. Okay, and then we are selecting 13 variables. Here I am selecting 13 variables. Okay, now first I am taking descriptive statistics. Okay, descriptive, then univariate, coefficient, KMO, and anti-image correlation, and then continue. Univariate, initial solution. In correlation matrix, I take 3 options: coefficient, KMO and Bartlett test, and anti-image correlation, and then continue. Second, extraction. Okay, in extraction, scree plot. I need scree plot because scree plot tell us how many factors we should retain in our study. Okay, then continue. After this, rotation, Varimax rotation. Okay, I'm taking Varimax rotation, and then continue. Then score I do not need now, and options. So sorted by size, I can means sorted by size means high value will be above and low value will be below in a factor matrix, and continue, and then okay. Now the this is first table of exploratory factor analysis. So it is descriptive statistics tell about the mean and mean and the another value, mean and standard deviation, and analysis number of question items. Okay, so the first table, descriptive statistics, we can know the mean, standard deviation and the means number of observations 120. Now second table, this is correlation matrix. Secondly, then KMO. So KMO basically the value of this KMO test, the value of this KMO should be about 0.5 desirable. Okay, point means more value it is good, near to 1 it is good. So it should be the this value above 0.5. So there is no issue of the data. Okay. Now second is correlation matrix. So this correlation matrix, we see the correlation matrix, and second is anti-image correlation. Okay. So what is anti-image correlation matrix? So there are anti-image correlation. What is the meaning of anti-image correlation? Correlation means the it's a if two variables are highly related, then value may be near to minus or plus 1, minus 8.5 or plus 9.5. Anti-image correlation, basically it is a mirror image, means high correlation, and anti-image correlation tell us it's a mirror image, means anti-image correlation value should be low. So here we can see the anti-image correlation matrix. These values are low, means this is low value, this is low value, low values. So all the values, maximum values except 1 or 2. So maximum, all the values should be less than or near to 0. So it's an anti-image correlation. Whoa, anti-image correlation. Now, what is the purpose of this anti-image correlation? We find the measures of sampling adequacy in this diagonal. You can see this is the diagonal. This is the diagonal. I am just showing you the diagonal. So this is the diagonal, means all the elements in the diagonal, all the element of the diagonals, all the elements like this, so all the elements in this diagonal elements, the value of all the elements should be greater than 0.5. So here it is okay, greater than 0.5, greater than 0.5, greater than 0.5, greater than 0.5. No, it is not desirable. It is less than. So, and another variable, we see another variable, yes. So this variable also low value. Okay. So we note down both the variables. So because they are creating the problem. So which one? This variable. This is the 14 number variable. Okay, its value very less. And another variable whose value less than this 0.433. This variable number 6 and 14. Now we can see 6 and 14, both the variables measures of sampling adequacy value less than 0.5, which is MSA. MSA means measure of sampling adequacy. So all the means out of the 13 variables, 2 variables value less than the desired. Okay. Now we move further. We will not remove now both the variable. In next stage we will remove the variables. So here it is about the Now, next table is community. Community basically it is this community tell us about the means in the factor matrix. This is my factor matrix. This is factor matrix. Okay, these are the variables v1, v2, v3. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the variables. So this one is factor 1, factor 2, factor 3, factor 4, factor 5, and so on. Okay. So community, this is another column, community. So it is the basically square of this factor loading, and when we add, then we find the this. It is community. This is the community of the second variable. So again, its value should be theoretically above 0.5. This is this value very less, 0.396. Now the next is the next table, 0.46. Total this total variance explained. So the criteria to select how many factors we should retain in our study. So there should be the value of variance. This is the cumulative variance. It should be greater than 60%. So it is good, no problem. 71.792. And the eigenvalue, the eigenvalue should be greater than 1. Okay, so here how many factors component? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 components have greater than 1 eigenvalue. Okay, so this is the criteria to select how many factors we should retain in our study. So it is the simple, this matrix, and this is simple, same, and it is another, the 3 columns. When we rotate our factors, then the cumulative variance will be same, but the variance of each component will be different. Here it is 28, now here 25. When we rotate it, it is 21, now here you can see 19. Okay, this is the one criteria to select the number of factors. So in this table, the 4 factors we should take, because eigenvalue of 4 components has more than 1, and 60%. Again, it is about 60%. And another criteria to select it, the scree plot. So scree plot, when I double click it, so I will put the value 1, means above 1. I am writing here 1. Okay, and then apply, and then close. Yes, how many factors here? So we can see here 4 factors. The factor number 1, its eigenvalue near to 4, almost 3 point something. Second factor, third factor, fourth factor. So scree plot tell us about the number of factors.
Sir, these are number of variables or number of factors?
These are the number of factors. Basically, if we are taking 14 variables, so the output will give us the all the 14 component. Okay, so basically I am taking 13, so this matrix will give us 13 component. Okay, if you are taking 50 questions, so your output will give you the 50 components. So but how many components we should retain? So these are the 4 components whose value above the 1 point means greater than 1. Next is the
my question is, so here 13 are variables. Out of 13, yes, we are retaining 4. So
yes,
are they 4 variables instead of factors?
Sir, actually, now these are basically factors. Okay, so this is the factor 1, factor 2, factor 3, factor 4. So if we are taking 13 variables, so the output will give us 13 component or factors. But how many factors we should retain? So this if I do not put the line this value, okay, because the automatically we have selected the eigenvalue 1, that is why we are choosing the 4 factors, and the component matrix also showing the 4 factors. Now in each factors, so if in each factor how many questions would be there, so it is depend on the factor loading value. So this is our factor loading, the variable number 1 to factor 1, factor loading 0.450, the factor 2 with variable number 11. These are the factor loading value. So this is the unrotated matrix. So in case of unrotated matrix, so there may be problem of cross loading, because this variable is giving high value with this variable and high value with this factor also. Okay, so this is a problem of cross loading. Here it is a problem of cross loading. This is the cross loading problem. Okay, this is the cross loading. So it is basically unrotated matrix value. When we rotate our matrix, then these value will be changed. So I am rotating this matrix, and this is my rotated component matrix. This one is component, this matrix is the rotated. Okay, so now the value will be differ. Here the problem of cross loading will be removed. So yeah, now we can see here, this is the one number, it is highly correlated with this factor and low correlation. High with this, low correlation. High with this, low correlation. So this is the high with this component 2 and low. So it is problem, but not much. So it is high and low with others. So it is a problem. This is creating the problem. This because it is giving the high value. And earlier we have seen the its value, the measures of sampling in a anti-image correlation matrix. This variable number 6 was less than 0.5. Okay, 2 variables we identified whose value measures of sampling adequacy value was less than 0.5. So it is the one variable. So it may be it is not desirable for our study. We will delete it. And another, there is it is good. And then I think there is all variable are, there is no problem. So through the anti-image correlation matrix, we found 2 variables which were not good. Like this one variable, you can see the value. What is the value? 0.433. You can see here 0.433. Which one variable? Variable number 6. And another value, the 0.337. It variable number 14. So what will we do? We will remove x6 and x14, and then again perform the exploratory factor analysis. Analyze data reduction factor, and then the variable number 6 I am removing because its value anti-image correlation matrix MSA value was less, and 14 number variable also. Okay, and then is okay. Now we interpret again. Now we will check the anti-image correlation, whether only variables cutoff value say high hai ya nahi. So we see here it's okay, or sorry. So its value, it is greater than 0.5. It is okay. It is okay. Okay. So there is no issue. Okay, because all the variables value about 0.5. Now next, and what is the when we delete two unrelated variables, the KMO value improves. Earlier it was less, 0.6 something. Now its value increase 0.740. High value, good for our study. Now,
sir, what about Bartlett test, sir?
Bartlett, which one? This one? This should be significant. So its p value, again it is significant. You can see here 0.0, less than 0.05. Okay. Now the total variance. Now when we remove the two variables, removing the two variables, how many factors we have? Now we have only 3 factors. These the 1 component, 2 component, 3 component whose value greater than 1. We will retain only those factors whose eigenvalue greater than 0.5. Okay, and rest of the variable we will not take. Now this is the 3.745. ये वैल्यू कैसे आया? So when we square, एक मिनट, this is the this square of this plus square of this plus square of this vertically. When we square, then we get the value of this 3.747. Same as for second component. This is our second component, square of this plus square of this plus square of this plus square of this, and then add, then we will get the value 2.116. Same as for 3 component, its eigenvalue vertically we will square of the factor loading and then add, then we will get the this eigenvalue. Now question is, how did this value come? This is the 30 variance. So what is the value of so what is the value? The value is the 3.747 and divided by number of questions. How many questions? 11. Okay, and then multiply 100. Then we will get the 34% variance. And when for second, the 2.116 divided by 11 into 100, we obtain the value of this 19.233. Okay, same as for third. Now the cumulative means this is the first value, and when we include second one, means 34 plus 19, then it becomes 53, and then add 14, then it is this. So this value should above the 60%. So it is desirable for our study. Now the next table, that is the scree plot. This is my scree plot. So how to select the variables? So elements, options, y-axis. Okay, y-axis. I am drawing the parallel line to the x-axis, y-axis, and here it is written 2. I want 1. Eigenvalue should be greater than, because here eigenvalue, and then apply, and after apply clause, and then this. So how many variables here, factors? So we will retain only this 3 factors, 1, 2, 3. It is less than, means 0.9 something, but it is less than this. Okay. Now how will we decide how many factor we should retain in the factor 1, in factor 2, in factor 3. So we see the another output. This is component matrix. Now this is the rotated matrix. Now this value is high, it is good. Okay, because both the value less, it is good. High value and low value in both the component. It is good, less value there. It is good, less value here. It is good, less value both the component. It is good, less value both. It is good, less value both the component. It is good, less value here. It is no. It is high value and high value. So this variable also not desirable for us, because it is giving after factor rotation. Still this variable giving high value under the 2 factors, so it is not desirable. So we will remove it. Okay, we will remove it and then finally interpret our table. So what is the variable number? This is the 12 number. Okay, because it is giving high value here and high value here. So I am removing the variable number 12 and then finally interpret the result. Then this analyze dimension reduction factors, and then I am selecting variable number 12 and this. Now I am using the options. Sorted by size, I need only suppress the small coefficient. I need greater than 0.6. So I am writing here 0.6. So my matrix one, we will get the ascending order, and then it will remove all the factor loading whose value less than 0.6, and then continue, and after then continue. Okay, so this is my matrix. Now again its value good, above the 0.7. Now it is the 3 component. Now I am seeing this is my main matrix. So I will interpret this matrix. So it means component 1, I will put the 3 questions in this the complaint resolution and deliver books, order, and this. So these 3 variables, this is my first factor, and under this factor 1, 3 questions means question number 4, 11 and 10, and all the 3 questions are related to the, what is the name? So we have given the name, this is this. It is complaint resolution, delivery speed, order billing. These are related to the customer service. So I am giving the name of this variable, that is customer service. So I am writing here customer service. Okay, and another factor, so factor 2, so it means reduce the data and summarize. Summarization means I am giving the name, I am summarizing the science of these questions related to the customer satisfaction. And the factor 2, the question number 7, 1 and 5, the Salesforce image, national company online service, advertising, it is related to marketing. So I have given the name marketing. And in the third matrix, these are the 3 questions whose factor loading above 0.6. So this national company competitive price, paper quality. So the question number 8, 3, 9, these are related to the product value. Thank you very much for today's lecture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ji. Kaushal Ji. Thank you. Both interested lecture.
Sir, what is the schedule for tomorrow? What we are going to do?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, what is your question, sir?
What is that? What is schedule for tomorrow?
Sir, tomorrow we will take structural equation modeling with Amos.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening question, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Good night, sir. Same to you.
Okay, so participants, We'll meet again tomorrow. And I hope all the questions have been answered to in the chat box.
हेलो सर।
Yes.
सर मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि जैसे सर जो जब पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट हम लोग लगाते हैं तो सर जैसे सर ने अभी हम लोग को केवल नॉर्मलिटी और होमोजीनिटी बताया है, तो सर दो टर्म और होता है जैसे रिलायबिलिटी और वैलिडिटी, तो सर उसको भी हमको देखना पड़ता है?
नहीं, रिलायबिलिटी वैलिडिटी तो आपके एक्चुअली रिलायबिलिटी ऑफ स्केल देखते हैं, वैलिडिटी ऑफ क्वेश्चनर देखते हैं, उसका स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. ओके, so normally we check some assumptions for parametric test. The foremost assumption is that your data should be taken on a continuous scale, or you can say it should be a metric data taken on a ratio and or interval scale. If you have taken ordinal or categorical scale, then directly move to non-parametric test. Don't apply any parametric test. But if it is the case that your data is on a metric scale, that is taken on an interval or ratio scale, then further assumption you have to check that whether it is following normality or not. Now you want to, suppose you want to apply some statistical test which is parametric but your data is not normally distributed. So try to make it normally distributed by either increasing your sample size or taking the logarithm of your data. Or you can, if nothing could be done, then there is a method called bootstrapping, which you can do.
ओके सर. सर ये लास्ट में क्या बोले, बूट स्ट्रैपिंग?
जी, बूटस्ट्रैपिंग जी.
सर ये कहाँ मिलेगा?
एक्सप्लेनेशन किसी ने मुझसे भी पूछा था चैट बॉक्स में, तो दिया हुआ है कि बूटस्ट्रैपिंग होता क्या है. वी क्रिएट रोबस्ट कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल्स. तो क्या होता है कि हम डेटा को नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व में लाने के बजाय कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल को एक्सटेंड कर देते हैं. तो वो जो नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, अगर आपको याद हो, तो द मोमेंट यू आर एनहांसिंग योर दिस कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल, ऑटोमेटिकली द डेटा विल कम अंडर नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व, दैट इज -2 to +2, -2 sigma to +2 sigma. You are extending that.
Okay sir, thank you sir.
Excuse me sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चनर है, उसमें जो रेटिंग है सर वो है very uncharacteristic of me 1 to 7. So which type of scale is this sir?
Sorry.
सर ये जो I enjoy learning very uncharacteristic of me to very characteristic of me 1 to 7 rating है sir. So which type of scale sir this is?
Sir, for that I need to see that how much have you created regular intervals. If you have created regular intervals, then it's a interval scale.
Okay, regular means sir 1 to 7, all items 1 to 7.
1 to 7 के बीच जो है वो आपका इंटरवल है ना, वो आपका मतलब इक्वल, अगर इक्वल डिस्टेंसेस आपने ली हुई है तो वो इंटरवल स्केल होगा, एल्स ऑर्डिनल ही रहेगा वो.
अच्छा, ये इंटरवल हो जाएगा सर. अच्छा सर, जैसे हम ओके सर.
Sir, I have a question if you don't mind. Sir, I have a question with regards to if there is a questionnaire which is already which has a base, say for example, a circle model.
Sorry sir, I'm not getting your question sir. Actually, the voice is breaking.
I'll repeat again. Sir, if there is a questionnaire or a scale which is already in say for example cervical model we have. Parashuraman scale.
Oh, I got it. Like Cervical by Parashuraman Jithmal, right?
Yes, exactly.
See,
so do we need
scale. Yeah.
Factor analysis for that also, or
no.
Items are already there?
No. For that you need not. Standard questionnaires, if you are taking standard skills, you are taking, then you need not. Even you need not to check its reliability and validity, because that reliability and validity has already been established.
Right.
Only you need to cite those authors who have made that scale.
Okay.
And you write that its reliability and validity has been checked by this author. That's it.
Okay. There's no
yourself, and you do not know that how many factors you are going to extract. Let's say 40 questions you have, but you do not know to which dimension they are measuring or which construct they are measuring, then in that case you have to perform EFA.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
हेलो सर।
Yes.
सर ये जेड वैल्यू क्या होता है सर?
ये जेड वैल्यू स्टैंडर्डाइज स्कोर्स होते हैं। नॉर्मली अगर आप देखोगे तो ये जो है मीन वैल्यू डिवाइडेड बाय लॉगरिथमिक वैल्यू ऑफ एनी डेटा दैट गिव्स यू द जेड वैल्यू, सो इट इज कंसीडर्ड एज स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड स्कोर्स।
तो सर इसका क्या मतलब क्या यूज है या क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है कुछ?
ऑफ कोर्स सर ये जेड वैल्यू है। नॉर्मली क्या होता है, कभी कभी जब आपका डेटा नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में नहीं आता है तो आप उसको स्टैंडर्डाइज करके उसकी जेड वैल्यू ले लेते हैं, बस इसका यही काम है। बस डेटा को ये ज्यादा डेटा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन दे देता है जेड वैल्यू।
Okay, hello.
Yes,
sir, I have a question. सर जैसे अभी सर ने फैक्टर एनालिसिस में किया था, जब हमने रोटेटेड कंपोनेंट मैट्रिक्स किया तो जो फैक्टर लोडिंग्स में उन्होंने कहा कि जिस वेरिएबल की वैल्यू 0.6 से कम है उसको हम छोड़ सकते हैं। तो अगर हम ऐसे छोड़ देंगे, लाइक उन्होंने सर ने पहले 2 वेरिएबल्स छोड़े फिर एक और छोड़ा, तो उसको हम जब छोड़ देते हैं तो उससे रिजल्ट्स के ऊपर कोई इफेक्ट नहीं आता है?
नहीं, आप फैक्टर एक्सट्रैक्शन कर रहे हो ना, आप कह रहे हो कि जो हाईली कोरिलेटेड हैं, जो 0.6 से अबव हैं, हमें उन्हें ही लेना है रोटेशन के बाद, तो आप उन्हें ही ले लोगे, फिर उस पर आप क्वेश्चन अपना डेटा कलेक्ट करोगे। ठीक है, तो
गुड इवनिंग।
नहीं, हम जो एक्सट्रैक्शन कर रहे हैं, मतलब जो हम डेटा कलेक्शन तो हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके होते हैं ना, तो उस केस में अगर हमने उन क्वेश्चंस को ही रिमूव कर दिया तो मतलब कि मैंने उन क्वेश्चंस को डाला ही क्यों था क्वेश्चनर में? इज दैट मीन?
मैडम पहली चीज तो एक्सप्लोरेटरी फैक्टर एनालिसिस का यूज आप जान लीजिए कि हम पूरे डेटा सेट पर कभी नहीं करते हैं। नॉर्मली हम एक्सप्लोरेटरी फैक्टर एनालिसिस प्री टेस्टिंग के समय करते हैं।
ओके,
ठीक है, तो हमें पता नहीं होता है तो हम एक मतलब जो बेटर अप्रोच है, पूरा डेटा कलेक्ट करके आप उसके बाद उतनी मेहनत करके आपको बाद में पता चले कि आपको मान लीजिए 40 आइटम्स में से 10 आइटम डिलीट करने पड़ गए, तब फिर आप क्या करेंगे?
तो ओके, हमें पायलट स्टडी करके उसके बाद
बेटर रहता है कि जब आप EFA कर रहे हैं तो पायलट स्टडी करें। फाइनली जब टोटल डेटा आपने ले लिया है तो यू कैन प्रोसीड फॉर CFA।
ओके
सर गुड इवनिंग।
थैंक यू
सर गुड इवनिंग।
ओके, यस गुड इवनिंग।
सर देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन, जैसे इसमें क्या कहा हुआ था, सैंपल साइज शुड बी 10:1. So if we are asking one question, the sample size should be 10.
See, many of the authors have given this theory, but ideally for doing ideally for collecting data, you should have 1:5 ratio. That is, for every item that you are taking or every factor you are taking, the sample size should be 5 times of it. Let's say I have 20 items, so my sample size means that will be considered adequate, should be minimum 100. But 20 items हैं, 1:5 के रेशियो से 100 minimum sample size we need to have, right? So some say that it should be 1:10, some say it should be 1:20, but ideally most of the authors agree that 1:5 should be the minimum. If it's above that, then fine. Did you got the point?
Okay, sir.
हाँ सर।
So Dr. Pandya, can you please stop the recording so that this discussion?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
हाँ विशाल सर।
Yes, sir.
ये सर जैसे सर जब बता रहे थे तो सर उसमें सर जो है कभी वेरिएबल भी बोल दे रहे थे और कभी फैक्टर, तो सर ये नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल और नंबर ऑफ फैक्टर में कोई अंतर